What's going on, guys? I see trades here. Today we're going to be doing a technical analysis breakdown on ticker symbol MSTR company strategy. Now, we have seen a lot of downside in more recent times due to dilution and MSTR having pretty tough fundamentals. We've seen a lot of pressure come into the stock. We've seen it not really follow Bitcoin all that well, despite having the most stock in Bitcoin. And we've been in a pretty awkward spot for MSTR, right? We have seen a bit of a pullback since we've broken out of this descending type of range here. So we see an obvious descending bull flag pattern where we had that nice breakout. We had a smaller pullback getting into a descending range once again. We broke out above 443, but we have come back down a pretty big amount, guys, to around that $325 level. We do see considerable amount of buying pressure there, given that long lower wick, continuation up, trying to break that, trying to get that move back up. And most recently, we've seen a nice wide green bar. Buyers finally stepping in here after a big pullback move. Now, should we expect this past breakout range level to be the bottom here and continue to trend upwards? Or is this just a bull trap and a fake out and we're going to reject here and come back down to the floor and come down further? Well, today we're going to analyze that and give you guys my best prediction on what we should be expecting. So we have been battling a lot of dilution, and if fundamentals continue to be negative, it won't positively impact the stock. But we do see a nice reaction here from the buyers as we hit around that zone. But keep in mind, guys, the overall market did surge in the last trading day due to Powell's speech, and so did a lot of Bitcoin mining stocks. All right, guys, turning to the weekly time frame, the main thing we're looking at here is that better perspective of that breakout of that descending bull flag. So we did get a nice move up, gotten a chop range of 103 and 182 in the past, and we had a buyer dominated move, very fast move given the amount we went to 543, which we reject there. Lots of selling pressure. Get into this descending bull flag range. Breakout there, guys, where we do end up going to the ceiling of around 450. We did see a little bit of a pullback before that, but we did break out and continue our movement to the upside. But then that's where you see dilution come into play, and we do come back down right at that breakout level where we did break that descending bull flag. So from a weekly perspective, given the amount of buying pressure we see here, guys, definitely a decent sign to show that we might be finding a bounce here, given that that was a nice obvious breakout level with a very green wide bar showing that the buyers won that level, breaking out of this range. And when you see such a drastic, right, taking the drawings off, such a drastic lower wick like that, guys, that is a lot of buying pressure, showing that the sellers really tried to yank the buyers down this past week, but the buyers did bring stock back up. We did still close in favor of the sellers, but nice to see that amount of buying pressure in play. All right, guys, turning back to the daily time frame, this is where we saw that break of this descending channel here, guys, which we did get in a bit of a tighter zone at this bottom, looking for a breakout. Did have a bit of back and forth, seller tried to push us down. Buyers bought it up. We broke that range, still a lot of volatile back and forth, but we did try into 457 being the high of the past movement. We also formed a V-shaped like pattern coming all the way back down to the floor, then finding some bounce here. So we did see a double bottom formation here, breaking out of this descending range, going to 457, but retracing all the way back down. Do find a bounce, creating that double bottom effect, but then we do end up flushing back down, and that zone just really doesn't hold up whatsoever. Don't even get a test here. We just fully break that zone. But where we do find that support is at 325, right, where we broke out of that descending bull flag. Now, what you want to see for the buyers is continuation. Seeing a green wide bar engulfing the last 2 days of price action is a good sign, and that shows that the buyers have some momentum on their side right here. But you do want to see that break of 358, guys. That is a resistance point for the stock, as we saw in the past, guys, scrolling over here. And then coming back down from this descending channel, we do use it as support a couple times here, bouncing back up. One time right here, and that's what propels us out of that descending channel. Past support zones can turn into tougher resistances, vice versa. Tougher resistance zones can turn into nice support levels. So what you want to see here for the buyers is we get over that range, possibly use it as support, maybe a little bit of chop, or just continue this volatile movement as we have that momentum. And you do want to see us get back within the range of 369 and 425. See a lot of quick price action there. There's not a ton of chop, right? It's usually stemmed off these big moves. You see a lot of volatility to the upside, downside, try to find a move there. And once over here, do get in that zone, still quite volatile. Descent all the way down, volatile move to the upside, volatile move to the downside. Pretty much just a very momentum stem zone. And I think that if we could get back within that zone, guys, we could be seeing some nice continuation up and a volatile movement, maybe a little bit of chop like we're used to seeing. But overall, guys, I think that we could be seeing a nice move up. Short term, we still don't have enough buyer confirmation on our side to say that we're definitely going to be in that zone. I think that's probable. but you'd want to see continuation, breaking over that 358 and finally testing that 369, that being the bottom of that range. Now, on the flip side, if bears do gain that control, guys, there's always a possibility we see kind of a mirroring candle here, right? A mirroring red candle. It's quite common to happen for, stocks having a bit of a fake out, kind of a bull fake here. Sellers step right back in, yank us down, especially considering that this 358 was a support level turned into resistance, and it was also a resistance in the past. We see that hitting that a few times here, several times where it was a bit of a resistance. If we do get a rejection here, there's a chance that the seller try to bring us down a bit, guys, given that this was a pretty quick movement to the upside. One day of price action, talking at least around a 6 to 7% movement to the upside. So definitely want to see that continuation and not really get held up all that much at this level. All right, guys, on the hourly, we see the bottom of that descending motion. So we really started at that 414 where we broke out of that descending range, came all the way down to 325. It's nearly a $100 movement on stock, about a $90 movement. Really starting from that $457 level all the way down to that 325. Lots of dilution and tough price action for the buyers. Sellers have been running the stock as of lately. So right now there is a bit more room to the upside than the downside from a short-term perspective. And I think that the buyers here, if they can break this level, we could definitely be seeing a retest of 369 where we would be back in that volatile range. So I like what I'm seeing here from the buyer standpoint, although I do not think we're completely confirmed yet. We have seen a bit of a pullback, but there's always room for a continued pullback given the dilution issues that MSTR is facing. Bring the stock above this level. If we reject pretty hard here, I would be quite short-term bearish on the stock, especially if that 344 didn't hold up and we got under that level, trending back towards that 325. I definitely wouldn't like that price action whatsoever. That being kind of a bull trap, a smaller move up comparative to this big move to the downside. So keep your eye on that. Definitely want to break this level and continue our way up to 369. On the flip side, reject here, get under 344. I'm bearish to 325. Past that, guys, if we go on the daily, lots of room to the downside. Really, that 232 being that only really good support level that we would have past that level. All right, guys, taking a look at Bitcoin, given that MSTR usually follows Bitcoin. As of recent times, it hasn't been following all that well, but still important to look at Bitcoin when analyzing MSTR. So in the past, we broke out of this bull flag range, kind of like we saw on MSTR. Had a nice movement to the upside. Found some steep resistance at 106,000 as well as 110,000. Tough level to break, as you see in the past at 106. Lots of times trying to get over that, couldn't get over it. Did end up getting over it, but just tough level to hold and claim. And then we see obvious price action tightening up above that level, showing that we did claim that level. Leads to a bigger move to the upside around that $120,000 level, where we play around a bit, form a pennant-like structure, kind of a flag and pull, but sellers win that battle. Buyers try to push it right back up, but sellers do continue in their descending motion. And then we see a push to all-time highs again. So we hit all-time highs here, and then we hit more all-time highs, that $124,000 level being that all-time high. But quickly sellers retrace, and now we are in a seller-controlled movement. So right now what we see is a possible double bottom of formation. So we have a bottom there, and we have a V-shaped like pattern. So quite similar to what we were seeing in the past history of MSTR, but kind of on different time frames. So for the buyers, what you want to see is an obvious uptrend here, guys. If we did break that 110,000, would be looking quite clear to 106,000 if we didn't get a sharp move right back up. I think we'd be looking quite healthy for the long term, really showing that price does not want to get back within the range of 110,000 and 106,000, and that $100,000 psychological level just being pretty much out of the equation at the point we're at right now, if we can get the bounce here and continue higher. So pretty neutral on Bitcoin, guys. I mean, doesn't look bullish, but it definitely doesn't look super sharply bearish to the downside. I think what happens is we check 110,000 a couple of times, see if we get the bounce there. Try to trend higher. If we do get continued rejections around that 115, that wouldn't be looking good. But right now, pretty neutral on Bitcoin. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your price predictions for MSTR in the comments below. We are short-term bullish if we can break this level, right? Say in the pre-market, guys, stock is down lower, and in the next few trading days, we break below that 344, then I would be bearish. I think if we get a harsh rejection here, that's not going to look good for the buyers. But if the buyers can maintain this level and push stock a bit higher, reaching to around that 369 and then ultimately breaking that, I would be bullish. And I think that we did find a bottom if that's the case. So the next 1 to 2 trading days will be crucial for the stock. I really do think we're in a pretty important spot for the stock here, guys. I mean, if we reject here, looking pretty clear to the bottom of the floor, especially if we break that 344. And if that point can't hold up, I mean, it's not looking very good for the stock, guys. Looking pretty long-term bearish, or medium-term bearish, I should say. So next 1 to 2 trading days will be crucial to see who is in control, if the buyers have found a bottom here, or if this is going to be a bull trap and harsh rejection at that spot. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you can see the picture a little bit better through this video. If you guys want to continue seeing MSTR videos, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll continue making them as long as there's demand. And as always, guys, trade smart. I will see you all in the next one.